So I talk to restoration contractors, and actually thousands of restoration contractors every single month, and I actually consult a handful of restoration contractors. And it's very common for a lot of us as restoration contractors to have these big dreams of the reason why we're growing these businesses, but actually end up growing our businesses into the zone of pain. And what I mean by the zone of pain is like, we grow so big to where we have a lot on our plate, and it's actually just painful. It almost sucks, right? And the reason behind it is we don't have that firm foundation on which we're growing on, right? That foundation is broken. And that one foundation that we may, have a lot of success with at $1 million a year won't hold up at $5 to $10 million a year. I've met many people, $7, $8 million outfits with no structure whatsoever. And it's rewarding. You're making a lot of money, a lot of volume is going through the company, you have a lot of equipment, a lot of trucks, a lot of employees, but you're just putting out fires all the time. It's complete chaos. Your employees are just burnt out. They kind of hate their lives, right? There is no leadership, there is no structure in place, and you're really, as an entrepreneur, you're like, why did I even get this big? I shouldn't have grown this big. I should have stayed small, right? And the fact of the matter is, no, you should have grown big. The only problem is you shouldn't have grown into the zone of pain. And the number one way to avoid that zone of pain is building a proper foundation and thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur working through that foundation. And I think that needs to begin as early as your first couple of $1 million a year. You want to create that, leadership team, and then you as a visionary and as an entrepreneur work through that leadership team. The common example of a leadership team within the restoration space at the small level is simply having a production manager, a office manager, and a sales manager, and yourself. So that's a 4-person power team that you're gonna kind of work through. And then getting yourself out of the day-to-day and working through those people as quickly as possible is very critical. And the earlier you can do it, the better you're gonna be. So what that looks like is, again, your first couple of million, you're building that foundation, right? And you have the vision of going out after insurance agents and plumbers, but you're working through that sales manager, and you're basically telling that sales manager, here's the vision, go execute it, and you're incentivizing that person to do it. And they handle the rest. When it comes to production, you build the vision of what kind of trucks, what kind of customer experience you're going to deliver, but you funnel that back to your production manager, and you incentivize that production manager to then build the team underneath them to execute on that vision. And then same thing with that office person, right? You have certain metrics on how you're going to collect, and then you problem solve with them, you work with them, but you work through them. And then as you can see, now you've got 4 people that can handle a specific burden within the company, and when you're working through them, the output is much more exponential. If you're at like $7, $8 million a year, or even whatever, 5+, and you're in the zone of pain right now, the first thing you need to do, and you're gonna immediately alleviate the pain, is build that core leadership team. Really quickly, try to find, whether in-house or go elsewhere, find those key positions, and then start working through those positions and get out of the way. It won't be perfect, but even if they produce 80% of what you would have produced, you free up that time and you're getting rid of pain. And I'll take 80% of the work done over pain anytime. Because if you're still in that zone of pain, you're gonna self-sabotage, you're gonna wanna shrink the company down, and you're really gonna miss out on the potential of growing and scaling your business. So here's some common examples of what it looks like to work through that foundation and avoid that zone of pain. So let's say you notice that you have a growth trajectory from $2 million a year to $3 million a year, and you need more crews to produce. As the visionary and as the leader, you make the decision that we need more crews. You go and speak to John Donner or Amsco and get more equipment. You visualize on how the next trucks are going to be set up, and then you delegate everything to that production manager. And you tell that production manager, hey, we're going from $2 million to $3 million. We need an extra crew. Here's how to do it. Here's everything packaged up. Go do it. And then that production manager takes that vision of yours and actually executes. Let's say you notice that receivables are going up, and you're looking over the company metrics, and you realize that we're not collecting money as fast as we could. So you call your administrative manager or your office manager in for a meeting, and you tell her, hey, look, I need you to go and do some research and tell me why receivables are creeping up. And I always like the 1-3-1 rule. And the 1-3-1 rule is identify one problem, come back to me with 3 solutions, and then choose one solution that is best and pitch to me that one solution. So now you've noticed that, but you don't have to actually go out and put out the fire. You let your administrative manager go out there and put out the fire, come back with you with 3 potential solutions and the one that she feels best. And then you and that person can work together on finding the solution And that's how you'd work with her. Now, here's another example. Let's say you want to expand your marketing efforts, right? You're marketing after agents and you have online marketing efforts, but you really want to fuel some more growth within the company. So you put together this plumber program. You write everything down, what the plumber will actually get and how they will get it. And you also write an action plan down on how you're going to go after plumbers to get plumbers within your company. You package that all together. You put together the compensation structure, and you go to your sales manager and you tell them, hey, we are going to go into this direction. We're going after plumbers. Here's how to compensate everybody. Here's how to go to the plumbers, and here are the value adds that we need to go to the plumbers with. Go ahead and execute this. So as you see, you as the visionary, the one unique talent that you have is finding out how to do things, and you're working and delegating through this one team that each is a specialist in certain areas. Another key thing to kind of notice is that leadership team, that management team, they need to be true managers. You can't work with a team of 5 people that are just like you. Like as an entrepreneur, I am not like clinically diagnosed ADHD, but I'm all over the freaking place. If I were to work with 5 other people on my leadership team that were the same thing like me, my company would implode. It would be absolutely ridiculous. So what I look for is great managers that might not have the visionary component that I have, but are extraordinary well at the tactical and at the doing things and getting stuff done and moving through and motivating people to get things done. That's another caution that I have for you guys. If you like this video and you want to hear about more just like this, click the subscribe button or the like button below. If you can leave some comments in the video below also, that'd be very helpful so we can produce more things that are very valuable to you guys.